Hi everybody, welcome back to another Mythic Monday. Today we're going to be taking a closer look at the Four Horsemen Figura Obscura Ganesha. If Saturday morning cartoons fueled your imagination as a kid and powers your action figure collecting now as an adult, then you're in the right place. Thanks for stopping by and welcome to Saturday Morning Toy Collector. And if you like my content, please consider subscribing. Articulated Empire is your newest online retailer for shopping for your favorite figures and toy lines like Mythic Legions, Savage Crucible, and Animal Warriors of the Kingdom, to name a few. They ship your orders quickly and securely. Visit articulatedempire.com today and build your empire. Okay, here we have a closer look at the front of the package, and boy, this just might be the most beautiful package that the Four Horsemen have ever produced, because this is just absolutely glorious. The colors, the bright vibrancy of it all, the perfect use of like gold foil printing on the name and the logo. We have some more of that beautiful artwork by Nate Barch and Tom Tolman. We've got the Four Horsemen logo right here and some more of that gold foil printing. You can see the artwork just wraps all the way around. And then to complement the orange and the yellow, the bright warm colors, we have this cool greenish blue teal color at the top, which is beautiful. And then more of that printing on the bottom, but no gold foil stamping right there. On the back of this package, we have the Ganesha icon of the artwork that'll be used for on the mug and on the pin, and then a little brief write-up of Ganesha here, and then of course everybody who worked on it. And like always, the box opens up. There are nice magnets that hold everything together, and then you can unmagnetize the front there, and you have this beautiful backdrop here. I believe this is Tom Tolman's work here of a nice little palace scene with all of the types of fruit and goodies and sweets that Ganesha could offer. This nice little couch and all of these windows receding back to the package. Again, it is this full bluish green teal color window box right here, so we can see Ganesha, and then some more of that gold foil stamping right there. And then here, depicted on the sides of the box, is the quick little story that is written up right here. It's one of the stories, and this is the story of Ganesha's parents, who we have right here, Shiva and Parvati. So his mother and his father here, and they so the brothers are depicted as having a race around the world to see who comes in first. And while his brother Kartikeya, the god of war, gets on a some sort of winged peacock or looking creature, flies around the world, Ganesha just gets up and walks one time around his mother and father, because his mother and father are his world. Again, a nice little, I don't know if I can show it off, but we have some more gold foil stamping right there with the Figura Obscura logo, the Four Horsemen logo up here. And so, yeah, beautiful packaging. One that I think is absolutely worthy of display on your shelf. But enough about the box and all the packaging. We're here for this guy, so let's get him opened up and take a closer look at everything Ganesha comes with. Okay, I hope you guys don't mind me leaving up the background for the rest of this review, or at least for when we go over the accessories. It's just so beautiful, and I think it looks just so much better than just a sterile background. So if you guys don't mind, I'm going to leave this up. I hope it doesn't make things too busy to be able to see the detail of everything. But we do want to start off with the beautiful booklet that we always get with these Figura Obscura releases. There's a lot of information here about the stories of Ganesha, the lore, some of the different interpretations that we've seen throughout the years, And it's just a beautiful book. If you want to learn more without, turning to the internet and doing a deep dive, you can certainly get everything you need just from this one booklet, which is always very nicely produced and included with Figura Obscura releases. Ganesha comes with so much stuff. I've had to sort of separate things into wearables, holdables. Man, there's just a lot. And I don't even really know where to begin. So we're just going to, start at the bottom and work our way up. We do have this beautifully sculpted. You guys are going to hear that word beautiful a lot today. I'm sorry. This might just be the most beautiful, ornate, colorful action figure in my collection. But we do have this nice sort of stool, ornate stool that Ganesha can sit on. And this is a very solid piece. It's very well crafted and well made. And we go nicely right here to have him sitting center in his palace. Let's see here. We do have some things that are, connectable to his body. That this beautiful halo piece here with this nice red jewel and a green jewel and all this ornate sculpting and painting here. You guys do notice that it does have that plug. So it does plug right into Ganesha's back, and we're going to see how that works a little bit later. So we have that nice halo. We have this gorgeous headdress, which at first I thought maybe these were like eye holes, where he would look out, but this does not sit down on top of his head far enough for that to be the case. It sits like that, and these are just made to drape downward. But this is just absolutely beautiful with the red jewels, that teal color, all of the little gold and silver accents and beads, this beautiful piece. I mean, I'm going to have to find another word for beautiful. This is just absolutely nice. And let's see. No, that top piece does not, that's all one piece. You want to be careful because that's a little soft right there at the tip. So you just want to make sure you don't break that off. You want to be careful with that. Let's see here. He comes with this axe, which is just so ornate and so intricately detailed on all of the sculpting and the paintwork. And this is just absolutely awesome. I believe that in the lore and in Bill's in Dork Lair's review, he talked about this being symbolic of, cutting ties with the trappings of your old life. Cutting, I guess, the ties that bind you down, and so this is symbolic to that concept. And then here is what I believe was described as a lasso, and this was sort of used to depict the idea of tying up or binding down the obstacles that could be in your life. Ganesha also being associated with the idea of the god of the remover of obstacles. And so that's what this piece is. So this is something that he can hold in his hand. And then some other things that we just have some miscellaneous objects because he is known as, having a good appetite, and he also is the giver of treats and sweets and stuff. So we have these little pieces here. So a bunch of bananas, a bundle of apples here, and then a plate of grapes. Now you'll notice that this particular plate has no hole on the bottom, but his little plate of sweets that are talked about in the book, they do have a hole on the bottom. So this would be more of a dio piece to sit around his stool, whereas this particular plate, there is one particular hand with a little post, and then you can plug this on, and so he can have a hand that is holding the bowl of treats, offering them out to people, I guess in return for their belief or devotion in Ganesha. So that is also just, it's a bowl of Ferrero Rocher is what I like to pretend these are. But they did talk about them in the book. They say they're little rice balls of some sort. So Ganesha is also mentioned in the lore as having a pet friend, either a mouse or a rat. So the Four Horsemen have included this little rat friend here. And if you watched Jeremy and Eric's conversation about Ganesha on Jeremy's Mythic Conversations, then you know that they mentioned that we would probably be seeing this rat again fairly soon. So I'm thinking that this may be an indication of, will we see a rat included in the next Figura Obscura in the fall holiday for like October, so for Halloween. So I'm guessing that they're going to stick with the classic monsters. Last year was Frankenstein's creature. This year, I'm thinking maybe Dracula because of the mouse, the rat. We will see. Now, some of the wearables that we have here, not only the headdress and the halo, but we have this gorgeous, just super ornate, I don't even know what you want to call this, like bundle of necklaces, these different necklaces of different sizes and shapes and levels of ornateness. Again, sticking with the red and the teal jewels, the gold and the silver, and then this plate that hangs around his back, which is also equally as ornate. This is just absolutely gorgeous. And you can see how like it's sort of molded to fit sort of his rotund body. And that's really cool. We have a little baggie of bracelets and anklets and beaded necklaces and things. And don't worry, the horsemen have put out this graphic here to sort of let you know which arms and legs and which side that they go on, so you're not going in blind. But, also, this is your figure. Deck him out the way that you would like. He also comes with this bandolier piece that goes around his body. It sort of has a shape to it, but it is very soft and pliable, and I'm sure that after months being in a certain position on your shelf, it's going to mold. But I would imagine that it probably goes like this across his body, and you can put it left to right, right to left, whatever suits you. And then of course we have this nice soft goods wired sash or scarf. There is a wire in it, so it'll hold its shape all the way around. And this comes on the figure, wrapped around his neck, and then crosses his body and is under his arms on him in the package. So we're going to get to the soft goods again in a minute when we talk about the full figure. And then as far as the extra arms go, we do have extra arms that you can plug into the back of the figure if you would like. He does come with sort of like a gripping hand on a horizontal hinge. That comes on this arm. This arm actually came in the package with the post hand on it as well. We also get a couple of other hands. We get this open palm hand on a horizontal hinge, an open palm hand horizontal for his right hand, and then we also get a gripping hand for his left on a horizontal. And on him in the package, he comes with your two gripping hands, which are on vertical hinges as well. Last, we have an extra trunk, and this trunk is wired, so it's got a little bendy wire, so it's going to hold its shape, and you can sort of like have it, curling to the left or to the right, which I know means different things for Ganesha in the lore and in the history. And it is really nice. You can see it's nicely painted. It has a little snout. We do get those little telltale air holes for anything that is bendy or posable, and that plugs right in. And then last but not least, we're going to take a look at this gorgeous head, which I do hope we see again in the future, but who knows if elephants are even a thing in the world of mythos. So on him in the package, he does come with a trunk that is articulated, but of course you can't have it going that way, or otherwise you'll break the reality of the sculpt. We do have one long singular tusk on that side. This side is broken off. It this nice, beautiful paint design down the front, and those very calming, peaceful, innocent eyes there. They do have posable ears, which are on a hinge, as you can see, so they're articulated just like a hand would be, so you can have them flex forward like that. You can have them flex back if I could do it without popping it out. And then, of course, they rotate. So first time that we're getting articulated ears on a character. Same for the left side. And then just that beautiful paint job. Just look at the gradient from light gray to a medium gray to the dark gray of the plastic. And yeah, I mean, it's just so absolutely gorgeous. This, man, I really hope that we get this again. I would love to have like a war elephant warrior, but who knows? I don't think we've seen Figura Obscura's heads like reused into Mythos yet, unless I'm missing somebody, and I don't remember something correctly. But I don't know if we'll ever see this. Somebody needs to ask the guys if we'll ever see this head again in Mythic Legions. And here is Ganesha himself, pretty stripped down. I'm not going to remove this piece or the pants to see how it is put together. I'm just going to I'm just going to rely on other people to do that, because these pants are sort of folded and created in a way to where I feel like if I took them off, I would probably never get them back on unless they're sewn that way. But you know, here is, if I could, maybe let's do that. Be a little disrespectful here just for a second, because I do want to show off this brand new body. This is pretty much my body. This is, I finally have made, my body type has finally made its way into Mythic Legions, so I now can get a custom figure. Guys, if you want to make a tribute figure to me, you've already got the body. Very little work will need to be done. But man, this thing just looks really nice. It's nicely sculpted. Even a robust body like this comes out great when it's in the sculpted by Eric. You see some little striated muscles right there on the side, the chest, and then the arms, which I think have been pointed out are like brute scale, like arms and like thigh pieces, I believe, making this guy stand, you know, taller than your average Mythic Legions figure. We do have the regular arms connected right here. On the back, we do have space for the other arms to plug into, and of course a space for that halo effect. But let's see if I can get these plugged in real quickly, like on camera, to see what they look like. And yeah, they do kind of plug in fairly easily. You just have to put a little bit of force. This is also my first time trying to plug them in. I haven't loosened up that joint yet. Oh, I'm trying to bend this just a little bit. And so there you have it. You can see what he looks like with his multiple arms. And again, this is just absolutely gorgeous. I love the way this looks. But now let's get him kind of kitted out with all of his stuff. And let's take a closer look at the full completed figure. Okay, so here is most of everything, but not everything that Geisha can have on his body. I do have on the scarf, but I put it underneath the larger necklace piece. I have the two beaded necklaces on him and the bandolier. It all just kind of sits and flops around and doesn't really stay in a single position. But what I wanted to show was, with most everything on, not the stuff he's going to hold and not the halo and not the headdress, I just wanted to go over the articulation as he is like this. I don't think the other things are going to hinder any of the articulation at all, not even the halo on the back. So yeah, this bandolier just doesn't want to lay down. Maybe I don't have things layered properly. But the arms in the back, you do get, a full range of motion. You can, pivot them back and forward. This is about as far forward as they go. Without the halo, they can reach all the way over or down. Of course, you can rotate here at the elbow. So if you want to get something a little more coming forward, you can, or a little more, of a display going backwards. The arms, the ears don't really get in the way that much unless, you want to raise the arm straight up, and then I would imagine you could probably rotate the ears back and then have the arm go up that way, or maybe like get them around the ear and go up that way if you wanted him, with his arms raised up. You do get the up and the down here, and then of course the hinge and the swivel at the elbow. So I don't, I think they pose just as well as any other Mythic Legions figure, with that typically has shoulder pauldrons on. So I'm really happy with the level of articulation, with these being bigger arms and there being four of them and all like really close together. So the head here can look up that far. You get about There you go. You get about that far, which is really good. You can't really look down. There's just way too much going on. The head can sort of rotate, bobble, pivot. You get all kinds of articulation there. We've gone over the ears already. You do have the rotation here. And then let's see what's going on here at the waist. Let's see here. You can rotate him about that far so we can see where the belly button is from center. So you do get some rotation there. I didn't know how much we would get, but you do get some. Even with the pants, because of how loose they are at the bottom of the ankles or the calves, the legs can go out about that far. These are probably the most hindered legs you're ever going to find on a Mythic Legions figure. Just because of this big belt piece here. It can go forward about that far. Let's see here. What do we got going on? I'm not going to be able to tell, but we do have some thigh rotation up there. We have single joint at the knee. Oh man, like this joint is really, really tight. I don't want to push it, but I'm gonna call it like right about there. It does have a slight rotation right there at the knee. You do have the rotation and the hinge down here and the forward facing pin down there on the feet. So you're getting a lot of range of motion. As far as I can tell, the legs are probably the most hindered I've ever seen on a Mythic Legions figure, but that's okay. This is a big guy. He's rotund. He's robust. He's, however, Rubenesque, however you want to put it. He's a chubby guy, but he's moving as well as any. I think you're either going to have him sitting in a seated pose, or you're going to have him standing on your shelf anyway. So I'm not really worried very much about the leg articulation. I'm more worried about the hand articulation. I know that I do have the, I'm pretty sure that I have the, using that diagram from the Four Horsemen, I have the bangles and the bracelets all in the right place, but I don't know if I have them pointing in the right way. I have this one pointing outward towards the hand, this one pointing upward towards the arm, and I don't know if I just have them in the right position, but they look good enough for me. So I think what we're going to do is just get this guy into some final poses, and before we do that, I do want to get this guy standing up here next to a regular Mythic Legions, and of course we're bringing Billbone's Broken Shield, and you can see that this guy is standing much taller. Even shoulder to shoulder, the shoulder only comes about to here, whereas over there he's a much taller. So you are getting a bigger build of the figure, and I think that's because of the longer legs and maybe the longer torso. But yeah, he kind of towers over a regular size Mythic Legion. So he's going to have a very nice presence on your shelf. So let's get this guy now into some poses and into some lighting, see how he poses up, and give our final thoughts. I have to tell you, I am kind of blown away by this figure. Just from an artistic and design standpoint to a color standpoint, I mean, this figure has everything that the Four Horsemen do, exceedingly well. The soft goods, premium from C. Jessam. The colors, the cut, the sew, how it folds is absolutely brilliant. The amount of accessories and things that we typically get, that we associate with the Figura Obscura release, they're here. You get all of, it's like so many like little dio pieces that I know are going to make their way into so many other action figure photography with other lines or with other versions of different characters in Mythic Legions, or maybe not Cosmic Legions, but yeah, this guy is just, he's so exquisite. Like, he's absolutely gorgeous in every way. The sculpt, the paint, it's just, I mean, I'm kind of blown away. I'm pretty sure I have at least said once this year so far that some figure was going to make my top 10 list. I can go ahead and tell you this guy has to be in my number one or number two slot of figure of the year already, and we're just at the end of April. This thing is incredible, head to toe. And I would not have guessed that Ganesha would be my favorite Figura Obscura release. I love the Headless Horseman. I love Frankenstein's monster. But man, this thing is just absolutely incredible. I'm just blown away. I can't wait for people who haven't purchased this to see this in person at a show somewhere. I know it was just at ToyCon New Jersey. People had a chance to pick it up there, I believe, and it was absolutely. I'm sure that it blew people away because it is absolutely incredible in every single possible way. So, yeah, I mean, what they're charging for this figure. It being a standard Figura Obscura release. At $70 is just a steal for everything that you get and the build and the quality of this figure. So thank you guys so much for tuning in and watching. I super appreciate it. Please continue to check us out over at Instagram at Saturday Morning Toy Collector. I am your Saturday Morning Toy Collector, Mark, and I'll see you in the toy aisles.